Good morning, students. In my previous class, I have started the discussion on the element called as classification of costs based on various bases. And likely, I have already discussed the first base, that is so called as classification of costs based on the elements. Those are so called as the material cost, labor cost, as well as the expenses. Now let me start the next base, that is so called as classification of cost based on various functions. So based on the functions, the cost can be classified into four important types. One is production cost, another one is administrative cost, third one is the selling cost, and fourth one is the distribution cost. So let us go through all these various classification of cost. So the first important type is that production cost. Production cost is also called as manufacturing cost, and according to the costing literature, it is also so named as either works cost or factory cost also. So what is production cost? The name itself suggests that whatever the cost that is so incurred with respect to the production of goods and services, that is so called as production cost. And it also so names because whatever the cost which are so incurred begins from supply of material, labor and services and ends with the production process. So from beginning to the end, whatever the cost so incurred, all that constitute the production cost only. It means that these are the costs which are going to be made with respect to the directly involving in the manufacturing activity only. Best example can be coal, water, gas, fuel, lighting, heating. So these can be best example for the production cost only. And next thing is that the administrative cost. The name itself suggests that these are the costs which are so incurred so as to bring effective administration with respect to an undertaking, or so as to have effective control over the affairs of an organization. With respect to that also, some sort of costs are going to be so incurred. All that constitute the administrative cost only. Best example can be manager's salary, postage, printing, audit fees, legal charges. So these many expenses are going to be incurred so as to bring the effective administration. And apart from that, the third important types of the cost is that selling cost. The name itself suggests that these are the costs which are incurred so as to stimulate the demand for the products of the company, or so as to create, or so as to increase the demands of the customers with respect to the company's products. And it also so called as whatever the costs that are so incurred so as to stimulate or motivate the sales turnover of an organization, that is so called as the selling costs only. Best example can be any kind of samples so given, or any kind of free gifts which are so allocated, publicity, advertising, so that will cost form part of the selling cost only. And next thing is that the distribution costs. So whatever the costs that are so incurred so as to make delivery of the goods and services or dispatch of goods and services to our esteemed customers, that is so called as the distribution of the costs. So best example can be packaging, labeling, warehousing, transportation, all that constitute the distribution cost. So these are the various classification of costs based on the functions. Why? Because all these are the important function only: production function, administrative function, selling function, as well as the distribution function. So based on the functions, the costs are going to be classified like this. Now let me proceed with the next important classification of costs based on the behavior. So likely with respect to that, you will find three different types of cost classification. First thing is that the fixed cost. The name itself suggests that these are the costs which remain fixed irrespective of the level of the activity. That is so called as the fixed cost. So irrespective of the level of the activity, in the sense, if you produce 5,000 units of the products, whatever the costs that are so incurred will be rupees 5,000 only. And if there is an increase, say for example, if you are going to produce products around 8,000 units, and so as to produce 8,000 units also, you have to incur the cost amounted to rupees 5,000 only. And sometimes it so happens that there will be a decrease with respect to the quantity of the production. Say for example, instead of producing 5,000 units, you are going to produce only 3,500 units. But even though you have to incur the cost which remains fixed, that is amounted to rupees 5,000 only. So that will form part of the fixed cost only. Best example can be rent, and best example can be tax to be paid. So these can be best example for the fixed cost. Okay, next thing is that the variable cost. The name itself suggests that this cost is going to be incurred in proportion to the whatever the output so produced by an enterprise. It means that if you are going to, if there is an increase with respect to the output or quantity of the products, then you need to incur the more expenses, more costs. And if suppose if there is a decrease with respect to the level of output, automatically the cost so incurred is going to be reduced accordingly. It means that these are the costs which are incurred in proportion to the output. Okay, based on the output, whatever the cost so incurred can be decided. Those are so called as the variable cost. They will be always varies or changing in nature with respect to the level of output. So best example can be salary, best example can be wages, best example can be raw materials. Say for example, if a company wants to produce 5,000 units, it has to incur cost with respect to the raw materials amounted to rupees 5,000 only. But if a company wants to increase the level of output from 5,000 to 8,000, automatically the cost of raw materials is also going to be increased from 5,000 to rupees 8,000. Due to an increase in the production of the output, there will be an increase in the cost so incurred with respect to the output also. So those are so called as the variable cost. And next thing is that the semi-fixed or semi-variable costs. So the name itself suggests that to certain extent they will be remain fixed only, and later they are going to change due to the change in the level of the output. That is so called as the semi-fixed or the semi-variable cost. Or we can, in other words, we can say that these are the costs which are partly fixed and which are partly variable. Those are so called as the semi-fixed or the semi-variable cost. Best example can be maintenance cost. Best example can be repairs cost. Best example can be telephone expenses. So these can be best example for the semi-fixed or the semi-variable costs. So as far as the expenses, whatever the examples that I have given, expenses with respect to the semi-fixed or semi-variable cost, I was rightly saying that to certain extent they remain fixed, and thereafter they are going to change. The cost to be incurred is going to be changed according to the level of the output. So the given examples can be repairs. Say for example, when the machinery is new, by that time the cost so incurred will be remains fixed only. But when the machinery, due to the continuous production, it is going to lose its efficiency and the production capacity, automatically you need to incur some extra costs so as to rehabilitate the capacity, the production capacity of the machinery. That is why to certain extent you are supposed to incur the fixed cost, and later on it varies, it changes according to the level of the activity. So those are so called as the semi-fixed or the semi-variable cost. Okay, and with this I am going to conclude my discussion. Please go through the discussion. Thank you.